Hey gang, Jeff Stone here with day 73 of the year 2015 at magicreview.com. We're looking at E2 by Rob Bromley and Peter Nardi. So apparently there's an original Extractor. This is Extractor, where is it on the box here? It said it somewhere. I guess it's not on the box, weird. I saw it somewhere where it said Extractor V2 space E2. So I'm assuming that it's Extractor version 2 and the nickname of Extractor version 2 is E2. So confusing title. Anyway, apparently there was an original one, obviously, and it's essentially the same gimmick that you're getting with the version 2. The big difference, though, the construction was slightly different, and it was basically permanently fixed into the card box, and so you couldn't get it out. And so if your card box kind of wore out after a while, you couldn't do much about it. You could, but it required a pretty heavy arts and crafts project where you have to tear the box apart and, glue it into the other box and everything. And you have to modify the box and all this stuff. And so the big difference between that version and this version is you don't have to do that anymore. This new one just slips in and out of the card box easily. So if you already have an Extractor and you're wondering if you should get this one, that's the only thing I can really tell you. I mean, you know how the Extractor works, and so the big difference is this one will go into any box, and you can use it with any kind of card box you want. Whereas if you wanted to use the old Extractor with any kind of card box, it was a pretty heavy-duty arts and crafts project. So for those of you who already have one, now you know what you're getting for the extra one. Plus, you get 2 DVDs, whereas the original one just had the 1 DVD, I think. But the first disc is the disc that came with the original, with a little bit extra on it. It's hard to tell. I judge it by Peter Nardi's hair color, and so with the newer ones, he's got grayer hair, and with the older ones, he had darker hair. And so on the disc 1, it's him with the gray hair talking about a few things, saying you're about to see the footage from the original one, and then it's Peter Nardi with darker hair. Looks like he's lost a little weight over the years too, so he looks good. So it's darker. So the new one is grayer, thinner Peter Nardi. So anyway, then on the second disc, I was a little bit confused because it's gray thin Peter Nardi, I think, but he's showing you how to deconstruct the box. And put the gimmick into a new box, which would be totally unnecessary if you have this version. And so I'm just not sure why they had that on there. But for those of you who need to know that, and you maybe happen to have the old one and you buy this one too or something, I don't know. So anyway, we'll talk more about the gimmick in a second. I'll just tell you this though: the 2 discs were just a buttload of information. I mean, just a ton of information, so much stuff, so many routines and ideas that you can do with the Extractor gimmick. Essentially, you're getting a gimmick that, well, I told you to talk about the gimmick in a minute. Well, let me keep to that. So you learn on here several different routines. They're all taught very well. And what I like about it, which is unfortunately a lot of DVDs don't do this, and I do like that he did it here, which is this. Once he shows you how to use the Extractor gimmick, he doesn't show you how to use the Extractor gimmick in every single trick that he teaches. A lot of DVDs would do that. They would show you, all right, let's use the Extractor gimmick to do this, and they go through the whole handling of that, which is totally unnecessary after you've seen it a couple of times. And so when they get to the explanation of the other effects, they assume you learned something along the way, which I appreciate. So anyway, that aside, they're taught well, they're covered in depth, they cover everything you need to know about the routines themselves and how to use the gimmick. So what is the gimmick? It's a gimmick that I'll be as specific yet vague as I need to be to give you what you need to know, but yet protect the method, protect the functionality of it. It allows you to get access to a signed card. Now, that sounds simple enough, right? But what's crazy about it is you can have the spectator So you can have the spectator slide. So you have the deck of cards here. I've slid them out a little bit so you can see. But the spectator can put a card in the box there, all right? So let me just do that real quick. Sorry, I'm a little unprepared because I wasn't expecting to do this. And all I've got is red cards laying around, but that's fine. This will be a signed card, okay? And the spectator is doing what I'm doing. You just tell them to stick it in there somewhere in the middle, okay? So they push it there, they push it in, and then you close up the box. And close up the box. There we go. Sorry about that. By the way, that was just me having a hard time closing the box. It was nothing fishy to do with the extractor. But I will just tell you this, that I have the card already. Now, again, that would be a signed card. Okay. And I had it a lot sooner than I showed it to you, too. I had it instantly. Now, obviously, that would not be an effect that you would do right in front of the spectator where you go, look, I've got your card. But as you go to put the deck in your pocket, you have the card. Now, here's the thing about this. You don't have to extract the card. You can just you can find out what the card is in the act of putting the deck in your pocket, like your inside coat pocket or something, or even in your front pants pocket. So if you're more of a mentalist performer and you just need the information, the identity of the card, you can do that. If you're doing something else where you're going to have the card end up in an impossible location, as you put it away, you have access to the card. Now, here's the thing that's crazy about this. Go watch the ad trailer. Everything you see on the ad video trailer is exactly what happens. There's no fudgy editing or camera tricks or any of that business. It happens real time, and the effect that you see on there is signed card put back in the deck here. Sorry, put back in the deck. And within seconds, Peter Nardi reaches into, and so signed card put in the deck put into inside left jacket pocket. Within seconds, empty hands, Peter Nardi reaches into his right front pants pocket, pulls out a deck that's in brand new deck order, and he spreads through the cards, and at the positions like Jack, I think it was where the Queen of Diamonds should be, there was a card reversed. And that card was the Queen of Diamonds that was signed and put into the deck that was put into his pocket. That's the kind of stuff you can do with this. It's very, very powerful. And again, you saw everything happen right there on camera. There was no funny business there. That is how clean it really is. And so part of what makes this work so effectively is that the spectator's the one pushing it in the box. You shut the lid and you put the box away. What do you think happens in their mind? Their mind is, oh, the card's put away. I don't know why he put the cards away, but the cards are put away. So with that being the case, suddenly you could load an elephant, right? You could steal an elephant from your pocket or whatever, with the right misdirection. And that's incredible misdirection, which is I, the spectator, clearly just put my signed card into that box that he just put in his pocket. And so that makes everything invisible, because now that you have access to the card, you can do whatever you want with it. And I'm telling you, it's never detected. Never. The whole structure of how this whole thing works is just incredibly smart. Very, very smart. Very, very clever. So there are lots of different things you can do. You can do, there's mentalist versions where the card isn't signed and the card is in a sealed envelope, and that was your prediction you had ahead of time. There's one effect where the card is signed, put into the box by the spectator, and then literally seconds later you reach into your pants pocket and you pull out a sealed deck, cellophane and all, sealed deck. You tear open the cellophane, you throw that away, you open the box, new deck order, and it's the same effect where the card is found signed at the right position in this new deck order. So it's the 7 of diamonds or whatever, and that the signed 7 of diamonds that was put into this deck a second ago into your pocket is now in the sealed deck that was in your front pants pocket. That's the kind of stuff you can do with this. Now, I know I try hard not to talk about or not let the star rating be affected by whether I like the trick or not. And this is no exception, but I'm just telling you, I think we'd all agree that those effects are very powerful and that those are good effects that will have a lot of impact. And they're not the kind of thing where there's like all this awkward fumbling and fidgeting and none of that business. This is very fast, very efficient, very practical stuff. So that's what the gimmick allows you to do. And again, you don't due to the nature of the gimmick, you don't have to actually remove the card. You can just know what the card is, and so you can do the most fair seeming type of effect where you're blindfolded, and the spectator puts the card back in the deck, and then you put the deck in your pocket, and you know what the card is. So there's lots of different things that you can do like that. He teaches several, and I mean, I didn't count them, but it was well over a dozen effects, it seemed like. If it's less than a dozen, I apologize. I'm not trying to mislead you. I just don't remember. I didn't count it. But I would be seriously surprised if it was less than a dozen effects. Several effects, though, and they just, I mean, you can't even imagine the kind of things you can do with this. And so, speaking of imagining, that is kind of the next step is, once you have this gimmick and you see how it works, I guarantee you'll think of, I'm thinking of stuff while I'm sitting here that I'm like, I need to write this down, but I can't because I'm making a video right now. So you will think of stuff to do with this, I guarantee it. But even if you have zero creativity at all, doesn't matter. There's tons of stuff taught on the DVDs. So I'm guessing you guys know what I'm going to rate this as. 5 stars, stone status of capital G, capital E, capital M, exclamation point. The highest rating given by this guy right here. So that's it for this video, guys. It's time for you to like it, subscribe to the channel, and share this out to all your peeps. That's right, peeps. And listen to the random iTunes song of the moment, which is Shouldn't Come Back by Demi Lovato. I'm trying a new way to do the random iTunes song here. When I do the written review, I'm just wearing my headphones and I'm typing, and I'm adding the product to my database or whatever, and the music's playing in the background. And by the time I get to the review, whatever song happens to be playing when I get there, that's the written random iTunes song of the moment. With the video, I can't exactly leave the music playing while I'm talking, and so I've been just sort of engineering that, if you will, by pushing the shuffle button and then hitting the fast forward button a couple of times, and that's the song. Well, it just occurred to me today, I'm an idiot, that I can leave the music running while I'm doing this video, but I just have the mute button on. So I had the mute button on this whole time, and it was playing while we were doing the video. That's why I picked up in the middle of the song. So I just hit the unmute. So we're going to try that a few times and see if I like it, because I do kind of like it being at the beginning of the song. But anyway, either way, this is a great song by Demi Lovato, Shouldn't Come Back. I know I've got weird taste, guys. Demi Lovato and Megadeth, right? Anyway, check it out. I'll put a link to that in the description below. Tune in tomorrow, day 74, which is the beginning of what I'm going to be calling Karl Hein Week. That's right, because I've got tomorrow Ketchup, Heinz Ketchup. Clever title there. That's tomorrow. And then day 75 will be volume 1 of the Heinous collection, or the Heinous collection. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Fall Shuffles and Cuts. And then we'll do, that's volume 1. Day 76 will be Heinous collection volume 2, which is, I guess it's just effects on that one. And then, of course, day 77, volume 3, which is more effects. So there you go, Karl Hein Week. I don't even know if he watches this channel, but anyway, I'll send him an email and let him know. Thanks for watching, guys. Sorry about being so dang rambly. Either way, tune in tomorrow for the beginning of Karl Hein Week. Thanks for watching, folks. We'll see you then. Peace out.